It's time again to unwind and enjoy the best of good music and hot news stories on JJZ, Just Gist with Zika, on iGroup Radio, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Just Gist with Zika. Crazy!
Okay, where's the good news?
Let's talk about our country, Nigeria.
Uh-oh.
It's an amazing place, right?
That's not good news.
You love to be Nigerian, right? Don't you like to be called Nigerian?
Of course I love Nigerians.
Mugabe recently talked about Nigeria. He said at his birthday, he said, if you are in Nigeria, you have to put your hands in your pocket for everything. I wanted to fly a plane, and I had to put my hand in my pocket. He's talking about corruption, actually. And I'm looking at the person Mugabe, but we put ourselves in that situation, didn't we?
Exactly what we did. You see, if you don't clean up your own mess, other people are going to just clean it up for you, in front of you. That's what happened tonight. It's sad, really. I don't know. A lot of people started attacking Mugabe back. I don't know why they're attacking him. We gave him the chance. Because they're not solving our own problems.
Right.
Not solving our own messes.
Right.
The whole outside. And that's Mugabe. Okay, if Mugabe is saying that, just imagine what the other people would be saying.
You know, when the president went to a particular African country and the lady was reporting said we came in a fleet of how many airplanes? Said 7 or 8. She said like, oh, Nigerians came. They came with like 7 airplanes. Why would Nigerians do that? And I'm wondering, do we actually have 7 planes or 10?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
We do have quite a few, though. I do know that. I do believe that the presidency actually ordered a new one. I don't know if it's come off recent. I don't want to be this. There's somebody else who's doing the job of spokesperson for the country. Let him do his job.
Let him do his job, huh?
Yes.
And you also had a comment on your blog. You have a blog. What's your blog called?
wonderone.wordpress.com. I've been with WordPress for a couple of years right now.
Yes.
I absolutely love it.
And you have a lot of followers, people who follow you to hear what Femi's going to say this time around.
Yeah, I write on all issues, really, not just politics. Politics is my favorite these days, but I write about the media, about social events. I do poetry. I've actually written a couple of books too, and I write whatever comes to the mind.
Okay.
I've always believed that a good broadcaster, a good presenter, you don't really have to be a broadcaster, a good presenter who thinks with his mind before he speaks should also be able to translate that to the third part, which is right.
True. Since you said you also since you said that you exactly, you say that you're an entertainer as well. So people think that when you get to a certain age, then that's the end of the world for you when it comes to entertainment. You're so old, you're not cool anymore. I'm going to ask you a few questions, okay? Do you know Chris Brown?
Of course I do.
I know. See? He knows Chris Brown. I'm going to ask a few questions, actually, about certain people in the media, entertainers, here in Africa and also outside the country. I'm going to start with Chris Brown. His relationship with Rihanna. People have said that's the most toxic relationship he's ever had. And I'm wondering, is that relationship good for him or bad for him so far?
Well, I guess it's everybody goes through issues. I really never know what happened between Chris Brown and Rihanna. Perhaps they were not made for each other. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Rihanna will always have suitors, will always have attractive people.
Yeah.
I think she's just too young to settle down to one particular person. I doubt if she ever will in her entire career. Same thing for Chris Brown. These are prominent entertainers, always in the forefront, always got lights, reporters, paparazzi surrounding them. It's hard to keep a relationship together in that kind of atmosphere.
Right.
It's absolutely, extremely, almost impossible to. So, yeah, I can't speak for them, but if she's fallen out of love with him, he better move on with his life.
How do you think Nigerian artists are faring now in the entertainment industry compared to way back?
Well, things are better for them, definitely. Oh, they're making a whole lot more money. Are they getting better? That is a question. You really can't compare between genres or between ages or civilizations, so to speak. It's a no-no area. because there are different standards and there are different wants and needs, different audiences at the same time.
Right.
The musician must be relevant to his environment and to his audience.
Right.
And that's what today's kids are doing, which works for them. Yesterday's musicians did the same thing for their audiences. Now, having said that, technology has also improved, so the modes of recording material and distributing such material have changed. There's a whole lot of digital stuff going on these days. It's easier to record from, you don't have to go through the whole 24, 36 track system and the analog that we used to back in the day. You can just have your entire recording studio on a laptop and do it at home in your bedroom these days. Spend 2-3 days in the studio. The following day, your stuff is out on the streets. It's easier. The music is getting better. I don't know too much about that. Lyrically, I'm not too impressed.
You're not too impressed. What about Waji? I think Waji is a beautiful performer.
She's a great singer. I like her. But then I guess the demands of the environment are also affecting what she can and cannot do. I don't think she's reached her peak yet. I think we've still got a lot more to get from her. I'm not too sure if she has the right producers working around her, or writers for that matter of fact, but she's a great singer, and I'm sure if she gets a great song, she'll do much better than she's doing today.
You have a son who is in the entertainment industry as well too. What's your son's name, and what does he do?
Keisho, yeah, he's a rapper. Rapper come broadcaster these days. He works on radio. He has a show called The Hip Hop Ride on, what station is it now? It's on one of those stations anyway.
Okay.
I don't want to mention those stations' names.
Have you ever thought about doing something else apart from, besides broadcasting? Maybe a white-collar job, oil and gas, everybody's doing that now. Have you ever thought about doing something different?
Me?
Yes.
At this stage? For a job?
Maybe a politician or, a council or an ambassador, something like that.
I can raconteur, I can advise, I can speak about policy and politics. I don't think I'd survive as a politician as politics stands in Nigeria today.
I think you'll make a very fine politician.
Not in which party? PDP? ACM? Which one?
It will
Me?
be one.
Me?
FM party. Vote for
If,
FM.
for instance,
Governor of Abeokuta.
Well, that's why I told a couple of friends of mine who are going to the national conference, they are one of those who will be there. I said, it is important that one of you guys stand up and make a case for independent candidacy in Nigerian politics. Because not everybody wants to associate with all these idiots, quote unquote, who have been ruining Nigeria all these years. And ruling, perhaps, is a synonym of ruining. I can't be a member of the PDP or the ACN or any other party that exists today.
Some people say it's easier said than done. When you're not in politics, it's easy for you to criticize people who are in position. And when they finally get there, we have examples of people who used to work in the newspapers and who were broadcasters and then who finally got into politics and they started singing a different tune.
True.
So is it the power, does it intoxicate people? Do you think that it's easy to just, complain about something and then don't you think we can do something individually by ourselves?
Yeah, we can. Like chopping all of them up.
How do we do that?
Or injecting Captain Jerry Rawlings' blood into somebody and just come get everybody out of the place. Best way to go. Yes, you're right. There is something in the water that runs in the taps in Abuja that they drink that changes everything. They must be putting something to that water.
There must be something in the water, right?
I believe so.
And you heard the story about the immigration saga, the controversy that trailed that story.
That was really sad.
And, people just pointing fingers at each other. Oh, it's not me. Oh, it's me. How come they didn't know this was going to happen?
Well, they knew it was going to happen. This isn't the first time. It had happened last year. It had happened the year before. Nigerian parastatals have been using the same system for years. But why is it such a popular thing this year? I'm sure I believe some people died last year, if I can recollect. But it's so big this year because everybody has become more socially media aware than we were last year. So it's all blown in their faces. They never expected the backlash they got on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else for that matter.
There is a bill that says very soon will be, approved by the House of Assembly to kind of put a little, so people don't get to talk too much on social media.
Some of us are waiting for that to happen. Then we'll see what.
Does not make any sense at all.
It can't work. I'd like to see it work. I'd love to see it work. Can't wait for it to start.
For younger people, the younger generation who's saying the ones who are there, the old recycled politicians, how can we, younger people, make our leaders accountable?
Well, it's a two-edged sword, really. First, you must have the capacity, as one of the younger people, ask yourself, do I have the capacity to lead? If I was given the opportunity to lead today, would I perform better than those old ones who are there right now? Do I have the knowledge? Do I have the education? Do I have the background? And I beg your pardon to say that I'm not too impressed by the youth I see around me these days. I'm pretty disappointed, and I don't think they have the capacities to take that challenge upon their shoulders. And why do I say this? Let's go back to the immigration scam. How many people applied for those things?
Over 1 million.
Did anybody here in this room apply for that? I don't think so.
No.
So tell me what you think about the mindset of somebody who would fall for a scam as cheap as that. They're looking for less than 5,000 jobs, and then you get to the stadium arena and you see over 50,000 people.
Right.
And you still go to sit down there and say, okay, there, I'm going to
I'll get
God
picked.
knows that I'll
Yeah.
God knows they will take me here today. That shows you're dumb. That shows you're stupid. That shows you're an idiot. And you're the future leader of tomorrow? No, you can't be. You need to get that intelligence first. That's why you have to change Nigeria. Make people smarter for once.
When you say become smarter,
there are too
how
many
do you mean?
half-educated people around.
People are street smart. That's the word. A lot of people are
You
street
can't
smart.
be street smart and rule a nation. I know you need some of it, yes, but you also need education. It's important.
So we need to go back to the drawing board.
We have to.
Fix the educational
You have to
sector,
start from the
the
beginning.
health sector,
The most
all the
important-
sectors.
The most important thing is education.
Education.
Once you educate the people, they won't be fooled anymore. You can't take them for a ride anymore. And that's why the Nigerian education sector hasn't worked. Governments in power keep on destroying it. So that people's eyes and ears won't open. And they'll continue fooling you and scamming you and killing you.
I will suggest that, public office holders should have their children study in Nigeria. It could help when you know that your child
Of
is
course
in a
it will
particular
help.
school.
It should be in the, you're right, it should be in the
And not just
statutes.
private universities, public universities.
Not just education, hospitals, everything.
Yes.
There's no reason why you should take your, come on. Equip the hospitals, they'll be better,
Right.
and they can take care of any challenges you
Right.
have.
I hear that India has the biggest health sector in the world, and most of the money they make is from Africa, and especially Nigeria. It's just sad when you hear things like that. India, they made so much money from Nigerians. You see, you go to the embassies, a lot of Nigerians with the clutches, the bandages. Oh, I want to travel to India. I have headache. Oh, I have tummy ache. And they just give you the passport and visas like that. You're like, just go. Because you're making money for their country, right?
Well, because the Indian government has taken care of their own, and they've almost exported their healthcare facilities.
Right.
Exported it, marketed it pretty well.
Right.
The whole world is going there.
Yeah.
If you can't afford America or England or Europe, next stop, India.
Yeah.
And they've got pretty good doctors too.
They actually do.
Let's not make a jest about it. The Indian doctors are pretty good. The hospitals are very, very
What
good.
are Nigerians good at? What are we good at? What can we exploit? What can we make money from?
We've got great, you see, because there's so much bad around, does not mean that there's no good. Nigeria is a great country. It's got great potentials. Nigeria is probably one of the 5 richest countries in the world in terms of resources. The only resource we always talk about is oil.
Right.
We've just only just begun to tap gas. Just got enormous resources of all, whatever mineral you name in the world. Everything exists in Nigeria. There used to be an old jingle back in the day. How did it go? Something, tap ground small. You will find something. I don't know. I forgot now. Scratch ground small.
Scratch ground small.
You find, and that's the reality of the truth. Just go under the ground a wee bit, you'll find something. Either it's tin, or columbite, or bauxite, or uranium, or gold. We've got everything, and all that has not even been touched yet. That's one. Two, our population is perhaps another of our greatest resources. We've got the people who are there to work, who are there to make things work. But instead of using them, we're marginalizing them. We're not educating them. We're not teaching them stuff. We're not training them. We're not protecting them. We're not providing for them.
Wow.
So that's not even useful to us again, right? And it's a big country. The whole of Africa used to look up to Nigeria. Now they look down on us. Look at Mugabe.
What would you like to see differently in the next 5 years?
I'd like to just see a government that finally thinks of the people first. I'd like to see a government that puts structures in place to improve all the systems, particularly education. Like I said, that's the most important. Once we start from that, right from primary school level, I'd like to see a government that decides on free education up to university level. And heck, we can afford it.
Up to university
Up
level.
to
That's a lot of
university
money.
level. We can afford it. Where's that $20 billion?
Okay.
We can afford it.
Very wise words from Femi Showolo himself, ace broadcaster, 37 years in the game. Not easy. Thank you so much.
Good old 40 grand.
Over 40. He calls himself Wongi Wongi. Some of you know him as Wongi. Some know him as Femi Showolo. Some know him as The Voice. Some know him as the cool guy. And some know him as Uncle Femi, like me. Anyway, thank you so much for being part of the show today. It was fun talking to you. I actually wanted you to dance on the show today, but you know.
Heck, I'm not a dancer, I'm a broadcaster, come on.
Please. Don't you party?
I used to.
You don't party anymore? Do you dance in church?
Nah, I've done all that.
Do you dance in church?
I've been there, I've done that, I've seen it all, I've done it all, I've danced everywhere, I've stripped naked and danced.
This is so disappointing. Like, just even if just like wave your hand in the air, you know? Or Fuji cabbage, like back in the day.
I never even knew how to
break dance,
I never even knew how to do that.
Break dance.
Don't worry, I dance in my dreams.
It has been Justice with Zika. See you again on Thursday, same time, 11 a.m. to 12. Have yourself a lovely Tuesday, and I'll see you when I see you.